Wast's two Afghan brothers put their lives at risk to help Americans in the fight against the Taliban. From 2010 to 2019, Sammy as a translator and Wasi as a member of Afghan Special Forces.
He's my brother. We lived through struggle and stress. We lived every moment of our life together.
But the two brothers, who once shared the same mission, now both of them living two different realities. Today, Sammy is living freely in Houston thanks to a visa he earned for his service to the U.S. But Wasi is in federal prison, facing charges for crossing the U.S. border illegally.
Nobody answered my question, why I'm here.
Answers the brothers are now seeking. We spoke to Wasi by phone from his prison in Eden, Texas.
Everyone just say you're illegally crossed, but no one hear my reason.
His reason, Wasi says, is he was running from Taliban soldiers who wanted him dead. Wasi tried to get a special immigrant visa like his brother, but was told he did not qualify because he was not paid directly by the U.S. for his service in Afghanistan. After the fall of Afghanistan, he was one of the thousands of Afghans attempting to flee on one of the last flights out of the airport in Kabul. Having no such luck, he escaped to Pakistan and got a humanitarian visa to Brazil. From there, he traveled as so many migrants do, thousands of miles through the dangerous Darien Gap, into Panama, and finally up through Mexico to the U.S. border. Sammy, who earned his visa to the U.S. in 2015, waited to hear from his brother on each leg of the trip. Sammy said his brother was beaten and tortured along the way.
So it was the hardest reality, and him finding himself in the most difficult moments of his life, where he's being called terrorist, where everywhere he was going, being tortured, and different types of torture he received from different countries.
Sammy said Wasi kept his hopes alive by dreaming of the day he would cross into the U.S. and explain that he had helped Americans in Afghanistan.
So he thought that once he made it to the U.S. border, then he would be safe.
He thought that if he comes to America, he will be treated as a hero.
Instead, he was apprehended by the Border Patrol and prosecuted for crossing the border illegally. The charge is a misdemeanor under U.S. law, and many thousands of migrants are released daily without prosecution for committing the same crime. Other migrants who crossed with Wasi were also released.
I don't know why I'm here, and another guy was with me. Now you're at home and you're outside.
The Justice Department said they could not comment on Wasi's case beyond what has been filed in court. Court papers show he is being detained without bond, not because he poses a threat to national security, but because the judge considers him a flight risk.
They helped everyone, but they didn't help me. Now I come here by myself to save my life. Now they send me to jail.
Sammy says he now has trouble sleeping and is distressed that he cannot help his little brother, being held in prison in the same state he now calls home.
I'm coming from a family that we have done nothing but sacrifice for this country.
He said his brother is paying the price of a failed U.S. evacuation.
So what's my brother's fault in this whole situation? When the collapse happened, he deserved to be evacuated. He worked with American soldiers, and American soldiers and government knew that if he is captured by Taliban for the work that he have done, he will be tortured and killed in the worst way possible.
And Julia joins us again now from El Paso, Texas, right at the southern border. Julia, just a really powerful story here. What is Sammy doing now to help his brother get out of detention? Any options for them?
Sammy's doing everything he can. He's already tried to petition members of Congress. He's tried to do everything he can through the U.S. government. And now he's trying to get his story out, his brother's story out, as much as possible. And you can learn more about those efforts at justiceforwasi.com.
Julia Ainsley reporting for us tonight from El Paso, Texas, along the border there with Mexico. Julia, thank you.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.